Joe, you are the only single man in this room. How has quarantine dating been for you?
It's actually been pretty fucking awesome.
Tell us all about it.
Okay, so something happened after the whole breakup where when I became an eligible bachelor, I wasn't even looking to get into anything new or whatever, but DMs have been filling up with all kinds of people. And when I say people,
He means fans.
people.
Men and women.
Men, women of all ages, ranging from 50 to underage.
Wow.
It's fucking crazy.
Interesting.
And yeah, it's just weird.
Have you dabbled at all in dating apps?
I tried Tinder a little bit. I tried some when I was in Vietnam and whatever, but not really. And it's just different. I think it's a different world because I think when it comes to Tinder and dating in that realm, there's a lot of having to prove yourself. And to me, I don't have time. I just want pussy.
But that's the beauty, because like we were talking about this the other night in the stream. A lot of these people who are contacting you know you through watching you and stuff.
Yeah.
And so you do get to cut through a lot of that bullshit.
Because they've already been impressed.
Right.
So here's the thing, though, too. Like, I think JK fans are just not weird humans. Like, they're just normal. So they don't feel like fans. You know what I mean? It's almost like...
Did you tell that to all of them?
Well, for example, Casey was a fan, right? And he's our friend now.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
he works with us, such as most of the people that we're with. And I think there's people that are quote unquote fans that we do business with and we became business partners with or whatever, right? So it's really more like that. Like there's people that I've met where it's like, oh yeah, I've seen your video. Maybe one or two when I was a kid. But it's not like, oh my God, I watch every fucking one of your videos. When I hear that, I'm like, oh, this is weird. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Wait, would you classify a fan as, oh, I've seen your video here and there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because it's like, how do you avoid that?
Like you were talking about avoiding the weirdness?
No, like so it's like, I can't deny the body of work that we've done, right? So if someone might have seen it. So for example, like if I made a friend that saw my work in the past, right? Isn't that making a friend with a fan?
Because I feel
Only
like
if they're engaging with your stuff, I feel like they're a fan.
that's I would agree with that.
But I know
Then,
you're talking
in
about
that case, I don't fuck fans.
Okay.
I've seen TV shows in passing, but I'm not fans of those TV shows
Exactly.
that just happen to come on.
It's just like I know that actor from that one thing. It doesn't mean I'm a fan of that actor.
Yeah. So the dynamic is like, so you know, like Nadeem was a mega fan, but then he doesn't show the fanness.
Yeah.
And he actually became one of our friends.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's chill, yeah.
Yeah. But then the cool part about it is it removes this need of like, hey, just so you know, I'm a safe guy. Like there's that awkwardness. Like I don't know if you guys remember the dating phase where you don't know each other and you're kind of stepping toward each other and it takes a little bit of time. Unless it's just a straight up hookup. I like you physically, you like me physically, let's just fuck. But that happens very rarely, at least for me. And this is like, if they don't know who you are, they don't even care about what you do, you just fucking met them at a club. And I think that happens very rarely for most guys unless you're like a fucking straight up Rico Suave.
True.
Yeah. But when that whole like having to prove yourself or having to show who you really are is removed, I feel more comfortable because I can be myself, I can say the craziest shit and no one's looking at me weird. But then when it's strangers, I can't be myself. Because I know that like...
You have to be a certain way.
Yeah, and then you have to ease into it.
I get it though.
You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I totally know what you
Yeah.
mean. When you're cold with somebody, like on a first date, cold by like you just met them, and you're just interacting for the first time, you're trying to put your best foot forward.
You have to.
Yeah, right.
You have to do
I
what's
think that's
socially normal.
Most people, if I walk into a fucking date and I'm all like, my favorite things are rim jobs, fucking ice cream, and Slurpees.
If it came up in conversation, I'd be like, okay.
That's why you're one of my friends.
The good thing about the nicety
Most people
deals,
aren't
though,
like that.
is that like when someone doesn't get too close and they don't do too much of the personal shit right away, you can right away go, you're a normal person, right? You know, you ever meet somebody and they get too close and they tell you too many like personal details and you're like, I've known you for 5 minutes. Why are you telling me
Dude,
about
I'm one
your
of those
divorce?"
people.
Really?
Yeah.
You are, because we get
I'm a
into
fucking wide open book.
we get into debates about how to approach different like
I'm
friend
weird.
groups and like meeting people for the first time, and I'm on.
Well, that's why you stick around.
Like, I adjust my personality according to who I'm with.
I
But she
don't.
thinks that's tacky because it's like you're being fake or like to a certain degree, right?
I feel like.
But then you just let it all out.
I mean,
Like some people
But you
air
don't
out
talk
their
to your mom
laundry,
the way you talk to
know what I mean?
Isaac, so you do change who you are.
no, yeah, not like that.
Oh.
Or like if I meet another person that's relatively around my age, where I could consider a friend in the future, or whatever. Like, and I just put myself out there. Like I don't.
But you
I don't. Like,
you putting yourself out there.
shift.
There's no consequences. Me putting myself out there, there are.
Yeah.
You're mild. Like even if you put yourself out there, no one's gonna reject you.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know.
but-
I'm pretty weird.
Do you like rim jobs?
No.
But have you been to that? But I know I'm pretty self-aware of how I could make someone uncomfortable. No matter how much you put yourself out there, you don't make people uncomfortable. So you never felt the consequences of being yourself. Where I have.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So when you put your over the years I realized what people are comfortable with, and I don't want to take them there until I open them up. And I don't like that phase because I feel fake, but I know it's a necessity because like the way I act with my karate club or the way I act business style or whatever, like I'm still out there, but that's me holding back.
Because I know people who like online date, and before they even go on their first date, and they're like on Tinder or texting or whatever, they'll start airing out all of their like dirty secrets and like their family laundry, and they're like, whoa, we haven't dated yet. So that's what I mean when you're like,
It's too much
always
too fast.
saying all of these problems, and it's like if you started at a 10. When we date, what are you gonna be, a 20? Like, what?
Well, you know what? I mean, for me, it all depends on who I'm speaking to too, because
Yeah.
like I end up like feeling the energy, and I feel like I can like sense how open they want to be and like how open I can be. Like
That's true.
It's not like I'm gonna immediately talk about how my parents got divorced when I was 7. Like
That's you adjusting to the room.
okay.
I think everyone kind of adjusts to the room in that way.
Like
where,
if it comes up in conversation,
Yeah.
then I'm really open and vulnerable. If it comes, like if it's an appropriate time to do it.
Yeah, like if you meet someone on like a tour group or whatever, and you could tell someone's like really prim and proper. So every time you meet them, you know, oh, this is their comfort zone. So when they're prim and proper, you're kind of prim and proper, right? But then when you're on the tour group and then you meet someone that watched all your childhood shows, you're like, fuck yeah, you like that show too? Like there's this type of energy all of a sudden, so you're just kind of adjusting your energy, and then when you
And Casey does that too, just in a different way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all he's
yeah.
doing is like so around different people, you adjust your slider.
It's like, oh, you're.
Yeah, I don't take it as fake. I think I see it as being considerate
Yeah.
of like the personal space. You got to gauge them and then walk toward it. And for me, I actually like the opposite. I like to dive in. So I actually like girls that are very forward. So if they just fucking go straight up and say, "Hey, I want to fucking take you out on a date," which I've had, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll pay for it." Like I just want to. I'm like, cool.
And I'm the opposite in the way where like the most prim and proper person I know is Gio's mom, which is why I roast the fuck out of her all the time. But then people like Steve or like David who can take it all day long, there's no point in me doing that because I already know what their comfort zone is. But then so it's like if the
You
more
like testing boundaries.
I like fucking around a lot.
Like going the opposite direction of what
You
that
like
person's
finding loopholes and shit.
Like, what is this guy? What makes this person? Well, if I could find someone's buttons,
Yes.
I'm like, aha, I unlocked it. I just get to play around.
And ultimately, and this has backfired on me. But ultimately, I have had people thank me for pushing the buttons. Only because I pushed them in a way that made them go, I was taking that part of me a little too seriously. That's all.
Yeah.
It doesn't always work out. By the way, that can be fucked up sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes it has been why I have close friends.
Wait, why'd you ask?
Oh yeah, we didn't get to the article.
There's an article.
There is.
This was a good
great.
convert. Yeah.
It's a dope conversation. It's dope.
Like I kind of want to just change the title of this video and then save this for another video.
Also,
Yeah, let's
too-
do that. Let's do that.
I think the biggest difference between like you and Joe and what Joe's talking about is that when you're on this tour group that Bart's talking about, you're not saying, "Hey, I haven't masturbated for 5 days," while Joe's like, "I'm masturbating right now."
And you know what? The women that accept me, they accept me, the whole me, the crazy me, and that's why I feel like accepted. I fucking love that. And to me, it's like it does this filtering, right? So it's almost like they enjoy my sense of humor. They're not gonna be turned off by that. And on top of that, they're more likely to be weird like me. And so I don't have this feeling of being wrong for being myself, which I feel like, to me, dating is hard because most of society they're way more reserved and they're way more that way, and they see me as entertainment opposed to as a mate.
Yeah, and as you date, you're like, fuck, you're wrong again, and you're wrong again, and you're wrong again.
Yeah,
it just feels like that.
It's taxing, and not only that, like the dating world, just like picking up and hooking up, and that's a different. People are pretending.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They're just like they're trying to impress each other. They're trying to be something, and when I mean impress, it's like it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna look good for my date or anything like that. It means like people are putting up a facade.
That's the part that bothers me the most.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no need. Like, just be straight up. Like,
Exactly.
why put up a front and then pretend that you're something that you're not, and then later on the truth is gonna come out and it's gonna come and bite you in the ass because you were lying the whole time.
And that's the game that I don't want to play.
And some of these people, they truly don't know who they are. And so
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
just trying things out so that they can build an identity around them. And I think that a lot of that goes missing sometimes when we all talk about it. Only because, like, for example, when me and Nikki got together, through the first couple of years, we would go to, like, say a house party or something. And we go to, like it's like wine and, like, couples and, like, it's fun. And I fucking love it, right? I could stay there for, like, 10 hours. And these places, like nobody's leaving, everyone's having fun. But Nikki has a meter. And that meter goes down and down and down as she socializes, and she has to get the fuck out at a certain point. And I was not taking that into account. I was just thriving so much that eventually she's just like, yo, when we need to leave, I need to leave because I can't do it anymore energy wise, and it really fucks with me. And so as soon as she comes up to me now, when it's time to leave, I don't do what I used to do, which is say bye to everybody and, like, you know, whatever. I fucking get out of there. And that little adjustment has helped me understand her more, because, like, what Casey goes through is he's just trying to identify with people, right? And that can be exhausting.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's kind of like maybe it's an introvert thing, introvert versus extrovert thing. But like for me, it's like it feels like when you're meeting someone, there's a lot of energy spent on making sure that you want them to like you, you know, and that energy is like really taxing. Whereas like someone like Joe, I feel like you don't have like this necessity to really need someone to like you, even though you're aware of it. Yeah, but you're aware of it. But
that's when he doesn't go like balls deep with being open, right? That's the part that you're saying that you get exhausted from.
It's not exhausted.
Being accepted.
It's more like it's not fun. So it's a waste of energy. So it's not like it tires me out. Maybe it's hard to explain, but
it's hard to explain.
The fun part to me is when the barriers are broken and I see them and they see me. That's the real fun. And then when people are straight up, like there are girls that just want to hook up and then they say, "Hey, I want you."
True.
That's fucking awesome. I'm not gonna judge you. I'm not gonna pretend that you're or I'm not gonna oust you or whatever. Like. Or if they just, I don't know, man, it's I think that knowing that human in the purest form to me is way more fun than the game everyone has to play.
Same.
How was your day? How you doing? Oh, cool. What do you do for work? You know? I don't even know your name.
True, searching for something to connect on is very, very tiring. For example, like I love movies, right? And some people come up to me and they're like, "Oh, I like movies too." And then we start talking, but I'm like, "Oh, you don't really like movies the way I like movies." And so when we talk about movies, it's really taxing because I kind of have
So
to hold
Casey's just
myself
judging
back
them
a
the
little
whole time.
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't
yeah.
really like movies.
Well, it's not that. It's just
That's
like,
the internal dialogue, but I'm like, okay,
it doesn't have to be so it's like, oh, we like movies differently.
Yeah, differently.
That
We like
could be
them
nice.
differently.
No, he does. They don't really like movies.
I know, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
This person don't know shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely different though. Because
You have to tiptoe. You have to tiptoe all of a sudden versus like really diving into the nitty gritty that makes you excited as like the conversation goes on, right?
yeah, I think the difference is maybe for introverts, there's the feeling of you're sucking my fucking energy, bitch, and it's not worth it. And then for extroverts, it's you're not stimulating me enough, so it's not worth it to. I got fucking ready. I'm sitting here and now I have to. Damn.
Well, we also can go into spectator mode, which is like if I'm talking
That's
to somebody
true.
who likes movies that I think are dog shit, I can I can just listen. It's almost like it becomes a podcast about something that I had never heard of before, where somebody likes this movie, and I'm like, oh, that's a fascinating take.
That's mainly like my view when I interact with people. It's mainly like, oh, let me try to understand your perspective of things, because I don't see it like that at all. So that's interesting.
That's my default setting.
Me too. Yeah.
Why are you such an idiot? That is my default state.
Mine too.
Nice.
Yeah.